Hey guys, Tonestar here. We've got another Ace Tanker replay, this time in the Cromwell B. We are bottom tier this game, and we're going to play fairly passive to start. It does get exciting towards the end, so hang around if you can. I put binos on my Cromwell B, and that's because of Lemming Rush. He said he uses binos, and I found it to actually be a pretty good solution. I've got a very, very good crew in this. I've probably played, I don't know, 2,000 games in this thing because I love it. But we're just going to take a passive spot, and if our AMX-12T, which he ends up suiciding, but if he sees anything, then we'll get some shots. So that's kind of our plan here. Tiger 1 is, or 131 is deflated, but we do see a Batchat 12T, which why he's all the way back there I don't know, but regardless. So as you can see, the Cromwell B does not have the greatest gun handling, and it cannot mount a vert stab, so a lot of people will use a gun laying drive on this tank. I'm not sure that I'm using that. I think I've got vents and a gun rammer on it. So I do have a Brothers in Arms crew and all of the crew skills for vision, and also camo. So oftentimes I'll play this thing like a light tank. If there's no light tanks, or if we don't have many light tanks on open maps. And in this case, I'm just kind of trying to create vision in case somebody wants to sneak up to the bridge. I probably wouldn't spot a light tank at this distance, but anything other than the light tank I would probably spot. And we are going to make a move here relatively soon. But this is bottom tier play. You know, you can't be aggressive. If you're aggressive, you're going to die. And they've got a Cromwell B, and you're going to see how it works out for him. Not very well. And, of course, there's 3 artilleries, which makes it even worse. So we spot this SU-101, which I don't know why he pushes, but immediately we load gold rounds. And we're going to punish him for being too aggressive. So we do get lit coming in here, and of course my driving, you know, just that move right there probably lost me at least 1 shot of damage with as fast as this gun fires. So I probably don't need the gold for the side shots, but a little bit of derpiness with the gun there. But we pick up 400 damage on or a couple hundred damage on a tier, is that a tier 7 TD? I think it is. It's got really good armor, quite honestly, but it's got terrible gun depression, and it's got a wicked gun on it. I want to say it does nearly 400 damage a shot, so I think it's another one of those 390 guns, but nevertheless, we're coming back up here trying to see if we can get vision down this lane here to see if anybody is pushing our guys, trying to flank our guys. And the reason we're doing that is because we want free shots. When you're a bottom tier, you're always looking for free shots. So our SU-100, we have a bunch of guys on the one line that are kind of stalled by one guy, and so we're trying to get in a position to shoot this Type 64. This looks like a terrible position, but we're relatively safe here because it's unlikely. The only guy that might be able to spot us is the Hellcat if he moved over towards us a little bit. But we're just trying to push off that Type 64. We're not necessarily trying to kill him. And the Hellcat has moved into an awful position. In the water, your movement is drastically reduced. And so I'm going to go after this guy. But it turns out I don't need to. He gets artied twice. So that works out. So it looks like we've kind of cleared off this side a little bit. So I want to be aggressive and push up into this dip. And this dip can work really well because you can spot guys and you're somewhat already safe. Wouldn't say you're completely safe, but and it's also giving us side shots on guys here. And so we put a couple of shots into the E25 and we get rushed by this light tank. So you notice that I drop back down as soon as I notice the guy coming back over the hill because I know he won't be able to shoot me. So we're gonna enjoy that bounce because you don't get hardly any bounces in the Cromwell. The enemy Cromwell is firing cold rounds, but he's not aiming, and he hit our tracks twice. But we're gonna go ahead and repair because there are 3 artilleries, and I do not want to get hit by them. So I know that the arty nest is probably here, and it looks like the game basically is over. And there's some poor gunnery on my part. But you notice I move away from the arties, okay? And 2 of them fired, and 1 had fired before, so I was relatively certain they were not loaded yet. And we're able to take out all 3 arties. So that puts us up to 1,000 assist and 1,400 damage, which is a pretty good game, quite honestly. And I noticed that the Batchat 12T is at our cap. So the UDES, it's probably a smart play for the UDES to cap at this point, just because he's probably never going to catch that light tank. But I feel like I can, and if you notice, I've loaded HE, because the HE on this, the HE is not great on this thing, but against light tanks, it tends to work pretty well. If you don't pen them, a lot of times you track them because you've hit their tracks, and that's what causes you not to pen. And so we've decided to come towards the middle because what I noticed is the guy has 6 kills. He's a decent player and he wants to win. Most of the time I would go back directly to our cap thinking that he's going to try and get some cap points out of it. But this guy's good enough, I realize he is not going to do that. So he's fired once, and I'm relatively certain he will not be able to kill me. He's fired all of his rounds as far as I can tell. And so it's just time to take our time and finish him off with a kamikaze kill. So that was a kill on a tier 8. 1,900 and almost 2,000 damage and 1,000 spotting in a bottom tier. So let's go ahead and take a quick look at the after action report. Okay, as I mentioned, we got an ace tanker here. We got a Dimitri's medal for killing 3 artilleries, which is always a nice medal to get. And we ended up with a kamikaze medal. We spotted just 2 guys, it looks like. And we did a lot damage to a lot of different guys, basically. And we ended up on top of the team with 1,399 base XP, 5 kills. And, of course, we made a nice profit. 43,000 credits and a tier 6 is nothing to sneeze at. Of course, we did have the Christmas bonus going on, so that's always nice. Fired 30 shots, hit 18, penned 16. So the derpiness at range is a little bit funky on this tank, but the big strength of the tank is being able to flex towards the end of the game, and that's how we were able to pick up our large amount of damage right at the end of the game. Of course, we had a 2 times going on, and we got a personal mission payout because we actually completed one of our missions, and then 420 extra XP for the premium vehicle. So I hope you enjoyed the game. I hope you subscribe for more tanks. and hit that like button or dislike button, whichever you'd like, and leave a comment for me. Love to hear your feedback, and we will catch you on the next one.